twice every 3 years. Well, in Dharma, we go around that same life experience 13 times every 3 years. And all of a sudden, the speed, the pace, the timing, I mean, there's not a person I talk to that doesn't talk about how it just seems like time is moving so much faster.
Mm-hmm.
And that is indeed true. Humans' metabolism is speeding up. And that's why we're seeing more and more and more prevalence of the shadow people.
You mean the faster our metabolism becomes, the faster we're moving in some sort of spiritual sense, the more we're going to see of them? Is that true?
Absolutely. Because in essence, if you take, every time we have a negative thought, every time we have a guilt, blame, shame, fear, anger, resentment, jealousy, envy, greed, possessiveness, insecurity, resentment, we're projecting that energetic out of our luminosity, out of our soul being, our spirit, if you want to call it that, and into the ethers, into the universe.
So then you're basically, I think, saying that our negative emotions are what? Creating the shadow people? Feeding the shadow people?
They're completing the shadow people because they're basically inorganic beings.
They're completing the shadow people.
Yes, they're inorganic
beings. The implication of that would be, though, that there's some force that's already in existence that we're completing with these negative emotions, but that there's some form there prior to our, what's the right word, completing its existence.
I would say that what we're doing is we're assembling them into our world of perceptual reality because they exist in a parallel dimension. Within the 7 streams of reality, the 7 streams or 7 dimensions of reality, there are actually 72 parallel dimensions to either side that the Zero Chiefs discovered. And these include your 5th dimension when you're dreaming at night. And every night when you dream, you demonstrate what our people call the Laren, the energy-sensitive perceptions of awareness. You go to heightened awareness instead of normal awareness.
So you may be at your most sensitive
Yes.
when you're asleep,
Absolutely.
most subject to perhaps being able to see these beings.
Correct.
Are they beings, by the way? Is that?
We call them inorganic beings.
Inorganic.
The definition given in 1153 BC by the major Zero Chiefs that really started noticing the phenomenon in the young.
Inorganic
beings, and that they appear because they feed in a vampiristic sense. They feed off of our emotional chaos, our emotional discharge of energy.
So then you will excuse me if I get a little crude for you. I'm not as eloquent as you, but basically, if you were to see a shadow person a little more than in peripheral vision, it would scare the
yes.
out of you, right? And
for example,
you're suggesting it would feed on that fright.
Yes, it will. And see, if you know anything about animals, and I'm not Dr. Doolittle, but I definitely have learned to communicate with animals over my life because we call the animals sweet medicine. And because they have a natural harmony and a natural balance and alignment, and you don't see a dog going to a psychotherapist to learn why it's not a cat. I mean, a dog's a dog and a cat's a cat. Well, we are animals. We're two-legged animals.
Sure.
But we have the potentiality to actually become a human being. And that's what we're in now. We're trying to learn to become human beings.
Are these inorganic beings sentient? In other words, are they conscious in the
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes?
You got to realize that almost every form of everything inside what we call the sacred laws of creation or the evolutionary laws is that all forms of all things are potentially transformable into all forms of all other things. And energy once created cannot be destroyed. It can simply be altered in the essence of its energy expression, its energy form. So these inorganic beings are parallel dimensional beings, is the best way to refer to them, that are pulled into our dimension, especially through the dream time, and engage and interact with us. The reason they occur out of the peripheral vision is because we need to pick them up with our other eyes. We have 10 eyes. We have 5 ears. We're much more complex than medical science recognizes. We've even got a third genetic spiral they're just now playing with called the ETA, the evolutionary transformational agent. We're a luminous being, and we have a tremendous capability of perception. The entire path in the things I study with the
Okay, slow up again. Slow up again.
Mm-hmm.
I need to understand this. So I believe that you are saying that we're not really seeing these beings with our eyes. We're not seeing them...
Not with your normal awareness eyes.
Right. That we're seeing them with a, lack of a better phrase, a psychic eye, or an eye that is now, because the metabolism is moving faster, it's just, it's the mind seeing it. I haven't quite put this together yet.
I can make it simple. Is it all right if I call you Art? I don't ever transcend on somebody. I stay in proper respect and gender and say Mr. Bell.
Well, for the purposes of doing this tonight, can I call you Thunder?
Yes.
Okay.
Either that or just Gunny, because that's what I went by for so many years. Either one works fine.
Or I guess I could call you Strikes, but that doesn't sound right.
Right.
Thunder sounds
and everybody calls me either Thunder or Gunny, those that really know me closely and intimately.
Gunny, huh?
Yeah. Right. If I said to you that you not only have your left and your right eye, your normal awareness eye, but everyone's very aware of the third eye, which is in the forehead. But when you're asleep and dreaming at night, Art, do you not see, and in fact, we describe dream time as rapid eye movement. Your eyes are moving, but your eyelids are closed. So how is it possible? What are you seeing with? Well, that's the fifth eye, which approximately is in the top of the soft spot of a baby's head when it's born.
Is it really?
Yes, that's your dream eye. All right? You also have a fourth eye, which is behind the base of the medulla oblongata, which is at the base of the spine, and that's your animal eye. That's why your hair stands up in the back of your head when you have a reality sense of danger.
I've been there, done that.
You bet. And we also have an eye in the palm of each hand, which has been depicted in many, many, many magical and spiritual texts. We also have an eye in the sole of both feet. And most importantly, we have our universal eye, which is in our navel, our womb.
Really?
And so we have 10 eyes, and we have 5 ears. We have an internal ear that hears when we're in the dream time. And by the way, dream time is 144 to 1 to our time, to third-dimensional time. If you put a person in dream research, like at Duke University, you measure a dream during rapid eye movement. We know they're dreaming. We record it on all the machines. We wake them up, and they tell us an event that took 2 weeks of time transition in their dream space.